Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Emmerdale star Zoe Henry shares Rhona's response to shock deal from Gus. Emmerdale star Zoe Henry has opened up about Rhona Goskirk's reaction to the shock deal from Gus Malcolm's. Upcoming scenes on the soap will see Rhona's ex-husband offer a tempting deal to Rhona amid her impending court case over her kidnapping of baby Ivy, who was conceived with the use of Rhona's frozen embryos without her consent. As the case approaches, Rhona decides to plead not guilty, Zoe revealing that decision comes after a discussion with Vanessa Woodfield. On the day before the plea hearing, her solicitor comes round and they talk through what's going to happen, she told Digital Spy and other media. Rhona asks, "What would happen if I pleaded not guilty?" Her mum and Marlon are chipping in and she just feels overwhelmed and storms out, which is so un-Rhona-like, not. Rhona runs into Vanessa and talks at her about the situation. I think in that moment of having that sounding board and a new person who is just sympathetic and listening, she's able to resolve it in her head. The bottom line is, Ivy is her daughter and she doesn't feel that she's done anything wrong. It was extreme to run off with the baby, I get it, and I think Rhona gets that too, Zoe added. But also fundamentally she's Rhona's flesh and blood and this situation is wrong. She just knows she can't stand up there and brand herself a criminal when she doesn't feel like one. So it turns on a sixpence and I think it's a shock for Marlon and Mary, but Rhona is absolutely resolute it's the right thing to do. Whether it is or not we'll find out. When Gus gets wind of her decision, he confronts Rhona, before things escalate to a scuffle between him and Marlon. However, despite not being initially forgiving, Gus decides to offer a way out by suggesting they both change their statements, also offering to cancel the sale of the house and hinting that Rhona could even see Ivy. Initially, I think she's absolutely bowled over because this is literally off the back of the assault between Marlon and Gus, Zoe explained. Gus is sort of suggesting, "I'm not going to let this go." But then he says let's meet, and Rhona goes against her better judgment. Gus offers this solution. It's the tiniest chink of light because it's actually what she wants. The fact that she took Ivy and ran away with her just shows the desperate measures she would go to. So even though perhaps, in her heart of hearts, she doesn't really believe Gus is being truthful, she's willing to hang everything on it. So I think it's a welcome offer, even though it's one that scares her a bit. Zoe went on to suggest that they could come to a compromise over Ivy, noting that Rhona and Gus did love each other once. Their marriage broke down and they both moved on, but there's always a way. And I think the root of this whole thing is they both love that little girl, and Marlon does as well. And Mary does. So when there's love there's always a way I think, and so I think that's what Rhona's holding on to. For Rhona, the perfect end goal would be no Gus and full custody of Ivy, though Zoe noted, she knows that's not a reality, so for her it's as much contact as she can get out of this situation. She wants to be a part of that little girl's life. The actress also admitted that filming the scenes has been exhausting, elaborating, "I think we're all pretty good at leaving work at work and snapping it off. I think that's really important, particularly when soap is so quick and there's so much, you shoot a lot of content in a day, it can be quite draining, but it's always a joy as well. I think we all feel very fortunate to be telling this story, because I think we're all really invested in it. So yeah, it's exhausting, but it's what we get paid for, right?"